behalf of government and the people of Ghana, and on my own behalf, to welcome you all, especially our guest foreign participants to this conference, to deliberate on this very important subject of mining in Africa. The mining sector has been and continues to be one of the most important sectors in African economies, including Ghana. Indeed, Ghana occupies an enviable position worldwide with respect to the export of some minerals, especially gold. Mr. Chairman, Ghana is the second largest producer of gold in Africa and plays a pioneering role in the mining sector reforms on the continent. I therefore deem the choice of Ghana to host a meeting on reforming the mining regimes as very appropriate. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to also commend the organizers of this conference for providing a platform aimed at deepening understanding of the African mining vision and related policy documents, as well as provide input into the business plan of African Minerals Development Center. Mr. Chairman, Africa's abundant mineral resources presents potential work creation opportunities for socio-economic development. However, the rate at which mining is catalyzing the long-term broad-based development on the continent through the actualization of the linkages opportunities backward, forward, lateral, has been and continues to be rather very slow. Ghana is no exception in this enterprise. There is a need for a paradigm shift. We have to move away from the exportation of raw natural mineral resources to ensure that we build capacity within the economy so that we can reap the maximum benefit of the mining sector into our domestic economy. I think it's about time that we take a second look at the mining model, as has already been said. And I'm advocating what some say the South African model, where in South Africa, because they were cut off from the rest of the world, I don't know whether I think it was a blessing in some respect, but what it meant was that they had to build capacity within their own economy to ensure that along the entire value chain, all the services that had to be provided was done from within the South African economy. So they increased the linkages and reduced the leakages. But here in Africa, the leakages are more than the linkages. It's about time that we also take a second look at the mining sector in Africa and increase the linkages and then build the local capacity along the entire value chain. I believe that with this, we'll be able to reap the maximum benefit of mining activities in our respective domestic economy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, until we develop our local industries to significantly supply a proportion of inputs needed by the mining sector and add value to the raw materials produced, optimizing contribution for exploitation of our minerals will be difficult, as I had already alluded to. Mr. Chairman, according to the United Nations Economic Commission for African Study, the adequacy of revenue obtained by African government for mineral exploitation remains a subject of controversy. However, the widespread notion that Africa has not obtained commensurate compensation from exploitation of its mineral resources, it's difficult to ignore. This sentiment has become particularly pronounced since the early years of mineral commodity price boom, which has substantially increased profits for the mining companies. And I keep on saying that to the mining companies. Don't only extract wealth in African countries, right? You must endeavor to also inject opportunities. Whether we like it or not, that has really been a challenge to us as they continue to exploit the natural resources that we have and inject very few opportunities. The study also reported that transfer pricing of inputs and equipment constitute a complex problem for government, and the one is a hard one for them to handle. Mr. Chairman, Besides these challenges, Africa has a golden opportunity to improve its pace of economic growth and address her infrastructural deficit if the rest of the significant mineral resources are well managed within the framework of good governance, given the current and the projected high mineral commodity prices. I always advocate that, Chief, why don't we, as we explore these mineral resources, why don't we use that to close the infrastructural gap? We take it out of the ground, we put it on the surface by providing roads, by power generation stations and airports and seaports, because these mineral resources are really depletable. I mean, after some number of years, they'll be finished. And what do we have to leave behind for generations to come? We need to look at intergenerational equity. Whether they like it or not, they also have a stake in the natural mineral resources that we have. Can we, as African nations, begin to rethink and realign the exploitations of our natural resources to our national development agenda, using the African mining vision as the roadmap? Mr. Chairman, regional and global initiatives in ensuring sustainable management of our mineral resources. In Ghana, Mr. Chairman, where the mining sector accounts for about 6% of GDP and revenues represent a significant proportion of government revenue for funding local and national development projects, it is particularly important that we participate actively in international, regional, and sub-regional initiatives that will promote and enable optimization of proceeds from our mineral resources, whilst ensuring that the mining industry does not engender environmental degradation, social tensions, and poverty. Mr. Chairman, one of the key regional initiatives is the development of the African mining vision. The vision, as already been said, aims at ensuring transparent, equitable, and optimum exploitation of mineral resources underpinning broad-based sustainable growth and socio-economic development through downstream, upstream, and sidestream linkages.